Nigel, good to be back here at XYZ today in Devon. Primarily talking about this 4+1 UMC, a new machine. Tell us about it.
Well, we introduced the 5-axis early last year, and sales of that have been very good. But what we found was a lot of customers were coming in saying they wish they could pay less and not have the 5-axis simultaneous. So we developed a machine to suit them. So really, this is exactly the same frame of machine, and but we've got a lesser control on it. We've got the Siemens 828, whereas the 5-axis machine comes with the Siemens 840 or the Heidenhain 640.
I would hazard a guess that this is a bigger market for you as well, isn't it? The 4+1. Full 5-axis is great, and there is a requirement for it, but nowhere near as much as a 4+1.
Well, I don't know. We'll only find out with time. At the moment, the 5-axis we've had for over a year, and we've sold 13 of those, so we're quite pleased. I wish we'd done more, but that's a genuine, truthful number. These, we've not sold one yet. We've only just introduced it. We've got them in stock, got 4 of them in stock, so I'm hoping we're going to sell them.
So with this actual machine, then, let's talk about it. What is good about the UMC model? Forget whether it's full 5-axis or 4+1, for people that might not have seen this machine before in our videos.
Well, we wanted a good, solid, reliable machine. That reliability was very important to us, and also, and it's important to our customers, that accuracy was the primary thing. Because everything's measured down here and the job's up here, you need to have some pretty sophisticated measurement to get a good machine. So both machines have the direct drive rotary table, 90 RPM, so we've got no worm and wheel, no maintenance, and therefore zero backlash, faster, much more reliable than a...
It's better for longevity as well, isn't it?
Absolutely, but much more reliable and much more longevity out of that. And so that was, and we've got a Heidenhain, I can't remember the resolution of the encoder, but it's the highest accuracy encoder that money can buy. And so we've got linear scales on the 5-axis, and they're optional on the 4+1. And but as I say, we've got a full gantry machine, the trunnion table.
What do you think the advantage is to the gantry machine on this, or the gantry style of build?
Well, the gantry style gives you a lot more rigidity. They're quite a heavy machine. They weigh just over 9 tons. And the gantry definitely gives you a lot more stability and accuracy and rigidity.
What about when you come to the 4+1? Is there any other compromise? You can't do the full 5-axis machining, but are you standardising on some of the other features and areas of this particular model?
Absolutely. We're using an LCM table made in Italy. They've got a Kessler spindle in them, and we've got options of 12,000 standard, 15,000. 18,000 and 24,000 RPM. So there's no difference in the options that you can have on the machine. It's purely whether one's 5-axis or one is 4+1.
Expandable tool changes as well, quite a few options there.
Yeah, the standard on this is 30 ATC, but you can have a 48 or 60, and we carry them all in stock.
How much of an important part is where you buy these machines from, Nigel? Talking from XYZ's perspective, you've got a lot of experience in machine tool sales, haven't you?
Well, most of our machines come from one supplier, but this comes from a premium supplier that's been involved in 5-axis for probably 8 or 9 years now, and they've literally sold thousands throughout Europe. Of the different models that they make, not of just of these models. And so we've gone to a very accomplished supplier of 5-axis machines, and we didn't want to start with somebody new, because I'm sure there's a lot to learn to get to the level they're at today.
I think that there's possibilities here for your current existing customers that want to move into 5-axis, but like we've said already, maybe not need the full simultaneous 5-axis machining. You could hold their hands quite well, couldn't you?
Yeah. Well, for years we've been offering 2-axis tables on our 3-axis machines, so we're effectively having 5-axis with a 250mm chuck. So we know about 5-axis. We've literally sold, well, probably 10 a year of those, And so now we've got a bigger machine that's purely produced as a 5-axis machine, whether it's 4+1 or 5.
I noticed finally here the roof on this, it's open. Is there an option to have an enclosure as well, depending on whether you're using high pressure coolant?
Yep. Well, it comes standard with 20 bar high pressure coolant, both machines. You can have a 70 bar, and if you have 70 bar, I'm sure we'll get some flicking out the top. So it comes with a roof if you buy the 70 bar. You may want it for other reasons, so it is an option you can buy. And we've got two types of roof. We've got an automatic roof, which you can see later, or we've got a standard, just a fully enclosed roof. But the enclosed one still has a flap that can be moved, so you can load the table with a crane. Because very important to mention, both these machines can take 600 kilograms on the table, higher than most of the competition. And one of the very, very important things that I mustn't forget to say is that when we tilt through to 90 degrees or 110 degrees, we've got 500 millimeters of bar length. And if you take a closer look at the job there and on the other machine, you'll see that we are working probably 300 millimeters off the table, so that you can get the spindling to do the work. So most people don't have a 500 millimeter job length from the table. They may have longer X travels, and people think that they've got more travel, but it's not the case. Even machines with perhaps 700-800 millimeters of travel don't always have 500 millimeters from the table.
So very important to assess the working envelope as opposed to what it just looks like, because you can get the weight that you've said, 600 kgs, plus probably a bigger part. And in your opinion, Nigel, is there an advantage to having the table configured like this with the pivot points left to right as opposed to front to back?
We saw it as very important because when you tilt the table the way it does, it means that with the door open you can get right up to the table, and you don't have to lift over a bearing housing, so you can slide straight onto the table. A forklift can come in and easily get to the table. So it was ease of loading that made us want the table to be in that axis.
Plenty of advantages to this machine, I can see. Now tell me about the price, because I know everybody will be interested. For this 4+1, where does it come in at, Nigel?
Well, they start at about 125,000, and you've got a perfectly functioning machine at that. People may want to increase spindle speed, therefore increase price, but that's about the only place you're going really. So £125,000.
5-axis machine, 4+1, 125k, that's where they start here. XYZ Machine Tools, and they're in stock. Thank you, Nigel.